Good morning, everybody. Can you see me and hear me? Good morning. Good morning. I'm a little bit early. Thank you, Linda. Going to try and stay on 2 hours, but Gavin is here, so it works. Okay. Message from my parents. Why is that so fuzzy? Oh no, hold on 1 second. Let me fix that. What the heck? One second. Let me reconnect that. There we go. Okay. A message from my parents. Knight of Cups, the Chariot, 10 of Cups. They're guiding you to focus back on you right now. There's this energy of like, in order to move forward, there's something that you need to work through or move through internally. And there's been some external avoidance keeping you from doing that. So they're guiding you to seek the internal movement, and the external movement will come from that. Message from Mouse and Blue Jay. Message from Mouse and Blue Jay. So Mouse is rat, which is the 10 of swords here. And then Blue Jay is like flying into the blue skies, flying away from something. So there's a message here of figure out what is causing you either depletion or pain or some kind of sabotage. 9 of Pentacles, pull away from it so that you can Blue Jay, 10 of Pentacles, reground yourself in like a fly away while grounded energy. Are there people around me who wish me bad or send me negativity? If so, who, family or friends? It could be negativity, but it's more so pulling the wool over your eyes so that you don't see either someone's true intentions, or like if people were talking badly about you to others, it's like they want to control the narrative of how you see it. So it's an attempt to pull the blinder over. Friends and family. I have Justice on the bottom. When I say to you, the person that you know has things that you don't understand that they want to keep hidden, it's whoever that would apply to. Why is it taking so long to find a job? Is it because I'm meant to work in the prison when they get in touch about a job offer? I almost want to say there's something you're meant to overcome that is going to be a tool when you do step into that position. Like a circumstance that changes your perspective before stepping forward into a role or this role. Is it because I'm meant to work in the prison when they get in touch about a job offer? Knight of Pentacles. I would say it looks like that. Oh, what happened? Message from my spiritual committee. There's something you're being guided to do research on to get more clarity about. With the star, it kind of makes me feel like you're meant to research someone else's opinion to make sure that that fits for your reality. Like almost like an energy of needing to slightly second guess something you've been told and figure out a way to make it make sense for you. Message for Angie from Blaine and a song. Whatever it is that she's dealing with, the light comes from within. So there's something internally she needs to sit with so that she can figure out what the next step going forward is. There's a message here of like the only way out through and or being uncomfortable isn't necessarily a bad thing when it comes to sitting with our emotions. Love in the Dark by Adele is the song. Also, I put the wrong playlist on and it was Hell and Back by Kid Ink. Any messages, work or business? There's some kind of victory to be had in stepping outside of your comfort zone and making the choice to do something differently here. I almost feel like something you're considering, this is giving you the green light to start to pour into that. Four of Wands. Something related to community, something related to collaboration, something related to like, I see how that person's doing something and I want to do what they're doing. How can I make that work for me type of thing? Any messages for me? There's some kind of public perception that's gonna make sense soon. Almost like, someone that you had a bad feeling about is how this feels. You're gonna recognize that you were actually right. It's like you felt some way about someone or a situation without necessarily having the proof of why do I feel this way. You're gonna soon realize that you were right. It almost feels like this is so you trust your intuition more going forward. Will our upcoming trip to Cincinnati for a checkup go well? For a checkup. I feel like there's something that you're gonna be told to either do differently, do preventative care wise, or do I guess I'd say I'm not getting the message of all clear, but I'm getting the message of like, this is fixable, or we can do this differently in order to prevent something from happening down the line in order to restore the balance. So it's like the completion of a cycle of lack of clarity. Now you're going to get clear answers to see what needs to change to restore the balance going forward. So I would say yes, but it's not like a perfect scenario, is what I'd say. It's a fixable one. Message from my spirit guides. You're being called to surrender to whatever feels out of your control right now. Just stay grounded and focus on making grounded, logic-based decisions. Um, if you follow your logic, that's how you're showing surrender, and that will allow you to get what you need out of a situation. A head over heart approach is what I'd say. Has Daisy have any messages before I have to go? For some reason, Sometimes by Britney Spears just really feels like part of the message. It's almost like this energy of you're working overtime trying to hold on to a perspective that feels right, but there's a need to look at it differently. It's like, when you think you're right about something and you're like, I don't need to readdress that because I know that that's a fact. Something that you view as a fact is not a fact, and it's holding you back from balance. So there's a need to stay committed to shifting perspective on something that feels stuck. Does Johnny have a message for me? For some reason, I'm really being drawn to this cross right here. And 4 of Pentacles is like foundation. So you're kind of being called to lean on your strength right now or lean on your inner light. Your intuition is trying to point you in a direction away from something that's keeping you held back. But you need to have the faith in yourself that you can make a hard decision in order to follow your intuition. Message from my spirit guides. This to me feels literal. It feels like there's some kind of tower moment that's disguised as something else. The tower moment seems to be that everything seems to be moving full speed ahead around you, except you. It's like you feel like everything's moving quick and you're stuck in place. You're being guided to kind of pour into what you're most passionate about right now in order to catch the pace of everything around you. It's like everything else doesn't need to slow down. You need to speed up by pouring into your passions in a different way, is how it feels. Any messages for me? There's something that you need to acknowledge within yourself. That's the reason trying to shield yourself from some kind of truth is kind of how I'd want to word that. Something that you know to be true, you're second guessing because you don't want that to be true. But there's this feeling of like you get what you give, right? So it feels like, how do I explain this? Someone put off the energy that you're picking up on, and that's why your intuition is kind of hitting to look deeper into this or to take action accordingly. So I guess I'd say trust what you feel, even if you don't have the proof of it right now. My Uncle Jerry has been on my mind a lot recently. Any messages? Mm. I'm kind of getting the energy of like I was pushed out too. Or I was hurt in a similar way too, or the hurt that you're experiencing right now. Judgment and 10 of Wands, I split the deck too. The hurt that you're experiencing right now is a generational wound that you're meant to break. Messages from my guide. The next step forward is in facing the next trigger that comes up. It feels like an old wound is resurfacing so that you can choose the path of healing instead of the path of looping back through a cycle. And as you do, you get some kind of victory because you're showing that you mastered your emotions over that original wound. Any guidance on if they should take Noah off seizure? Okay, let's do take him off. Leave him on. Oh, leave him on. For take him off, we have the Tower and 5 of Swords. So an aggressive energy of something getting worse. Leave him on 9 of Cups, the Sun. You might not see the progress yet, but it feels like it's getting you to where you need to go. It may just be to try it longer until a different situation or treatment presents itself, but I'm getting to not take him off right now. These are not good cards in that scenario. I have Knight of Pentacles here. Kind of getting the message of like trust the medical professional's opinion, even if you're not seeing the progress yet. It may be that the progress is slower than what they said, but it doesn't necessarily mean they were wrong, is kind of how that feels. Messages and a token. I don't know what that is. A little person in a doorway? 21. Oh, elevator. Leveling up. Interesting. Elevator with leveling up. Some kind of experience is ending. You've had the lesson and now you're off on another path. You're quite literally elevating. Page of Wands, you're learning more about yourself through what did not work out. What didn't work out for you really worked out for you. And now you're moving away from that because you've completed the lesson. I've changed jobs. Is this second job good for me? Yes, but it's almost like needing to make some kind of sacrifice in order for it to be good. So it may be that you don't enjoy your coworkers as much, or you might not like the hours as much, but it feels like it's putting things back to where you need to be. Even though there's some kind of sacrifice needing to be made for it, something that you're going to enjoy less than the other job, but there's either like a financial or a scheduling or environment, something's better, and that outweighs some kind of discomfort, but there's also some kind of discomfort. Did my ex-husband hide money in a bank account from me when I was married to him, and why? Ace of Cups, the Hermit. I'm keeping this abundance to myself. The Emperor, to keep control. Either control or like a safety net, backup plan, just in case type of thing. I need to have control, so I'm keeping this abundance to myself. I would say yes. Was in an abusive relationship for 15 years. He passed, met someone new. Is he good for me? I would say be aware that there may be someone from his past that he's not all the way detached from, or that his heart has not all the way detached from. He may be trying to move forward. See how he's like running away, but it's still 5 of Swords. So he's like not over something from the past yet. Queen of Cups, his past Queen of Cups. It's not that he's bad for you, but I'd say take things slow. Let me go to this list. Message from my dad and a song. Hello, Darlin' by Conway Twitty. There's something that you've been running from in terms of facing a wound or facing a reality. And the message is, if you allow yourself to put it down, even though it will be uncomfortable at first, you're going to feel better moving forward. Almost like give yourself the release that you deserve. Everything happens for a reason. Trust the divine plan. Any messages from my daughter? Blackbird by the Beatles is the song. It feels like you're kind of battling with my choice. Like, okay, so if I'm you, I'm deciding between listening to my gut about some kind of decision or if I should allow someone else's opinion to infiltrate that. Like, do they know better or do I know better type of thing? You're being guided. And if this hasn't happened yet, it's going to happen very soon, but it feels like it already happened or it's happening. You're being guided to trust your own decision here. Not that the other person is intentionally trying to sabotage you, but it may just be that you know better. You are the one who knows the right choice here, and there's a need to trust that. Hold on, token. A sign from her. It's a dress and a top hat with number 6. Should I have accepted the new phone gift? Should you have accepted? It's kind of giving the energy of like, I'm giving this to you so I can hold it over your head later. Should you have accepted it? I mean, if you needed it, I would say accepting it, there's nothing wrong with accepting it, but it comes with a caveat of like it potentially being used over your head later. Or like a you owe me type of thing. Should I put any more effort into my relationship or move on? I feel like there's conversations that you can have that will show you if there's anything else that can be done. So it may be this energy of like, okay, if we have this difficult conversation, I know it's the last nail in the coffin type of thing. But if that's the case, there's a need to have those conversations because it's going to give you the proof of walking away or staying. It's going to show you if the other person's able to get on the same page with you. We have Page of Wands and Page of Swords, but Knight of Swords in between and Knight of Swords on this side. Whether or not you can get on the same page comes from having the difficult conversations that feel like it's too hard or too uncomfortable. I Am Not Okay by Jelly Roll. Almost like things will stay the same unless you have these difficult conversations. And through the difficult conversations, you're going to see if it's time to call it quits. I'm going to do 2 more and then go back to the other list. I had a reading with Tay and she said I was ascending. I love Tay. Is that why I have felt so exhausted? Yes, but your ascension is really coming through almost like you're a hot air balloon, right? And you're ready to take off, but there's all the strings holding you down. You've cut away strings, and there's one final string here that's almost like your original wound, shadow wound, that's slowly surfacing in pieces. So you're dealing with the pieces of like that main rope that was holding you back because you're learning about exactly what you were not facing because you were keeping yourself busy with external situations and trying to fix them. So the shadow wound itself is what's exhausting you because once you cut that away, the ascension comes, if that makes sense. Weekly messages from ancestors or guides. There's a shifting of the way that you're pouring into a situation that's coming. You're going to soon recognize, how do I word this? You're going to soon recognize how a situation that's not your situation is actually helping you to put pieces into place in a situation for you. So I'm learning something through this situation that I'm kind of involved with, but it's more someone else's situation, but I'm learning a key crucial part that helps me move forward. Regarding, I almost want to say the impact that you have on others is lighting up a new path for you going forward. How will N and L meds affect me? Celebration, long-lasting grounding. It feels like it may cause some energy imbalance as your body gets used to it that may cause you to withdraw from other people until you, like, regain your footing. So if it energetically depletes you, that's your body adjusting to it. I would say go wait it out until you see that lifting. But it feels like there is a benefit of this that's gonna be lasting. I'm freezing. Let me check my internet. I have full service. I hope I'm not still freezing. Oh no, where am I? Any messages for the family from Valerie? For the family from Valerie. I don't know if this is for the whole family, but there's a need to remember that it's people against the problem, not people against one another. So there's a need to maybe step outside of a comfort zone here to keep the peace. I almost want to say to be mindful of any passive aggressiveness, not you, but it feels like um some kind of stressor is causing people to not view how they can work with one another to overcome a problem, and it's almost like someone feels like they have to do it all on their own. There's a need to kind of shift perspective in that regard. Is my brother M okay? I feel like more okay than he was recently. It's almost like he's coming out of something because he chose I almost wanna say he chose himself over another person that was depleting him or draining him. I don't know if this is a relationship. It doesn't really feel like a relationship. It feels like maybe like a crowd he was hanging with or a friend that he had or a colleague or something. He's recognizing that someone was pulling him away from the path he needed to be on, and he made the right decision. So he's not where he needs to be yet, or he's maybe disengaged from mindset if it's not a person. He's making a turn to get on the right road is how I'd word that. How will my sister's surgery go? Will they be successful in eliminating the concern? Yes, but I think that healing may be an uphill battle or take longer than expected. Um, it feels like the surgery in and of itself, whatever needs to happen happens, but almost like not that there's like a hiccup in healing, but it just takes longer. Maybe she's like out of commission for longer than expected, or maybe there's like either range of motion or like scar healing. Something takes longer, but the surgery itself goes successfully. Can you see when my son's life will improve and settle? He has lost his job, probably won't be able to stay where he is living. No partner, no money. He has gone into a depression. I feel like the next 2 years are gonna be very difficult for him, but he's being guided to face whatever was being previously repressed. Um, almost like being forced into a situation of surrender is kinda how it feels. there's certain decisions that he will be making that he wouldn't have focused on making if he hadn't hit the rock bottom. So it's almost like the rock bottom is happening so that he hits it and is like, okay, there's nowhere else to go. I need to make decisions differently for myself. I feel like the next 2 years are going to be difficult, but then it starts to turn around. What is this deck? I do not know how to say that. Gustavi Dory Tarot, Amazon. I love it. It's like kind of like E Renaissance E. A message from my spirit team. Whoop. You're being guided to walk away from what's not serving you, what's depleting you. There's a conversation that needs to be had, and it's going to show you exactly what you need to know about another person's intentions, or maybe even if you think there's an opportunity for advancement in something and you have a conversation, you realize there's not. There's a conversation that needs to be had that's going to show you how something's draining you more than fulfilling you. Message from my parents. I Got You, Babe by Sonny and Cher is the song. Oh, I Got You, Babe by Sonny and Cher, Two of Cups. They're together. The Chariot. Keep pushing towards whatever it is that you're working on right now. It feels like the message is the levee is going to break soon. There's something that you're trying to break free in terms of flow in your life, and you feel like you're putting effort in vain, but you're not. You're almost to the part where you start to see the benefits of the energy that you've been putting into something. So keep pushing forward. Also, an emphasis on them being together. I had to leave this way. This feels like it's from your father. Should I walk away from my oldest friend as she makes no effort? I feel like I would try to have a conversation with her first, with Queen of Swords here, so you can put an end to this cycle. Like, are we going to get on the same page or not? And then Knight of Cups, needing to choose yourself. So if you feel like after that conversation, she's willing to make more effort, I would say give her the opportunity to do so. And if it's short-lived or it's not happening, then there's a need to choose yourself. Choose your it feels like it's triggering either an abandonment wound or something to that effect. So there's a need to be mindful of, if you're not going to put in the effort, then I need to walk away. But I feel like there's a conversation to be had first. I'm glad that you survived the hurricane. That's scary. Is one of my previous jobs saying negative things about me, thus blocking me a job? Job card, control and authority, getting what I want. And then I said, what kind of control? Three of Swords, pain. Somebody doesn't want to let go of the notion that either they feel like you got one over on them or they didn't get one over on you. It kind of gives, like, you know how jobs will call for to check on references? I don't think that someone's being honest about that reference. Am I a Heyoka empath? Ace of Swords, truth, the star, your star origin, Three of Cups, the group that you come from. Big yes. I'm exhausted and ill. Message from my guides. 5 of Pentacles. Focus on the things that are in your control right now. Whether that be your nutrition, whether that be what you're taking in terms of like listening to on social media, or it feels like certain things like motivational videos, or like needing to give yourself a brain break by focusing on things you can control, like your mindset, like your attitude, like your what you're focusing on taking in. There's a need to take baby steps right now to start to relieve the stress, because the stress is piling on to what's already going wrong and making it worse, making it feel heavier. So focus on what you can control to start to restore the balance. Empty Space by James Arthur is the song. Do we have a chance to buy the house in Mexico? Would this cause family problems? What else flipped over? You have a chance to buy it. There's some kind of like thing to overcome. I don't know if that's someone else trying to outbid you. I don't know if that's like, if you don't live in Mexico, getting the whatever it would take to be able to make that kind of purchase there, whether it be like a visa or something like that. I'm not sure. Feels like there's something that needs to be overcome. It's not like all green light yet. Would it cause family issues? Almost like someone would feel like their opinion doesn't matter, or that other people are strong arming them. So like, you ask for my opinion and I say no, and then you do it anyway. Now I'm mad type of thing. So it could be something like that. Message from my paternal grandma. Is she proud of me? Ace of Cups. I would say yes. She's proud of you. 9 of Pentacles. I'm proud of the person that you have become despite 4 of Wands, 10 of Swords, despite the community or a group of people going against you. I'm proud of who you've become despite what you were up against in terms of pain issued to you from other people's wounds. Song from Mom and Dad. Summer of 69 by Bryan Adams. And The Times They Are A-Changin' by Bob Dylan. I'm very proud of you. Keep pushing through. I'm very proud of you too, Linda. Message from my highest self, community with a token. The Tower. Oh, that's interesting. The Tower and a ladder. You're starting to realize that the mountain you were climbing is not as scary as you thought. And that you're more capable of getting to the top than what you initially thought. Yeah, the Star would be the top. The 6 of Cups, the effort that you're putting in, you're going to see the benefits of, or you're going to see the forward progress from. It's almost like you feel like you're climbing this never-ending mountain, and you're going to start to realize that there actually is like a light at the end of the tunnel of it. Will my daughter ever connect with her bio father or half brother in the future? I'm not getting anything about bio father, but I am getting something about half brother, because Queen and Knight of Swords. 3 of Cups would be them coming together. Why not father? It's kind of giving the energy of like, I have to uphold a public image. And something about this reason would cause me to not be able to uphold that or not be able to uphold my energy in that way. Like it would trigger him or something to that effect. Oh, let me go back to this list. Actually, I'm going to close 40. I'm going to close super chats. Just in case. Because I don't know how long Gavin's going to last out there. I hired a realtor. When will my house sell? I feel like you're going to get an offer that falls apart. So I don't know if that's like 10 of Swords, painful ending. I don't know if it's like we make you an offer, we back out, or like you think you have someone on the hook and you put a lot of energy into it and then they back out. But Knight of Cups and Sun, and then you do get an offer. So it's like falls apart before you get the offer that you need. Excuse me. It's going a while. I have a month for that. Your birthday in reverse. So not by your birthday. It's going to take longer than whatever your next birthday is. And if your next birthday is like tomorrow, then it would be, I feel like a longer than a year. Message from A. Piano Man by Billy Joel is playing. There's a need to listen to your divine authority about a situation here that you're right about. With the Empress, there's this energy of like over giving or giving something too much thought or giving someone too much benefit of the doubt when something is like internally causing you to be like, I don't know if that's the right move. Whatever the situation is, it's giving you the tools to break away from something that's keeping you from a wish fulfillment. It's like you're one step away from a wish fulfillment, and this is like the final test type of thing. There's a lot of fear and instability at work with a recent firing. Insight. Is this the culture left at the job? Is my position in danger too and others? Recent firing. This recent firing feels personal to someone. I don't know why I just looked at that, but let me get a song. Creatures Lie Here, ESV East Side. It feels like this was like a dirty firing. Like this was like a personal reason that someone wanted this person gone. Is this the culture and are you in danger too? It may be that someone's trying to make some kind of power play and this may have been their first step. I feel like as long as you don't make that person angry, you won't be on their list too, if that makes sense. Who is this person? 9 of Wands. It feels, look how all the little people are down here and they're all like on their horses. So they're all working and then this person just kind of standing there looking down at them. It's that person. Don't make that person mad. It feels like that person is like on some kind of power trip. I'm going to do 2 more here and then go back to the other list. Message from the Ascended Masters. Where's that deck at? Fourth Ray of Harmony and Dark Angel. There's some kind of wound surfacing that facing it sets you free. In order to restore the peace in your mind, you need to face what's coming to the surface. What is the wound? Anxiety and fear, past life wounds, and lack of boundaries. Not having boundaries in the past triggered this past life wound that's causing you anxiety and fear, and it's coming up to be rehashed. So you're being guided to set and maintain boundaries, and as you do, you're able to reestablish the harmony. Do I have a poltergeist in my home? Oh. Some kind of energy that is light is grounding itself so you can learn about you. I can't think of what poltergeist means right now, but there's an energy in your home that is like a spirit energy manifesting as something so that you can learn an important lesson about yourself, if that makes sense. I have the star on the bottom of the deck too, so that would be the spirit energy. Is Elle from my group jealous? I'm not, if I'm Elle, I'm not seeing how better things are happening for you than they are for me. For me, everything seems to be falling apart quickly, where for you, staying in this light, I don't see how that can be the case for you if it's not the case for me. I would say yes. Oh, you're so welcome. Let's see. Where's that deck at? Oh no. That almost just fell all over the floor. Let's see what you need. We often carry mountains we were meant only to climb. If they think you're a lot, tell them to go find less. And Daisies by Katy Perry just started playing. There's projecting a lot onto you, and you're being guided to be in observer mode right now because what they're projecting onto you are past wounds that you've healed. So you've healed it. Now you're getting the opportunity to see exactly how much you've overcame, especially with the people who didn't believe that you'd ever be anything or make it out of a certain energy. You're showing that you're not triggered by old triggers, and that is kind of like almost like an I told you so to the people who doubted you. Go back to this list. Where am I? Will a parasite or heavy metal cleanse positively impact my health? It will make slow and steady progress towards facing a big issue that you've been dealing with for a while, and it will allow you to see like where the issue is coming from. So in draining, how do I word this? In draining your body from certain toxins, you're going to be able to identify the root cause of an issue that's been with you for a while. So I would say yes. Are we making the right choice in rental home? Commandments. I feel like it's a good for now place. There's something that you need to learn from this situation. So I feel like there's going to be some kind of difficulty that teaches you a valuable lesson so that you can get to the next phase. It feels temporary, but it feels like it's a good decision for now. Message and a token. I think that's a thimble. 48. Needle and thread, mending. Something is mending for you. Needle and thread, mending. some kind of emotional mending from a situation that you didn't get what you wanted, but you got what you needed. This kind of feels like either a relationship that fell apart or some kind of opportunity that fell through. Because you stayed true to who you are, it unlocked what comes next for you. So you didn't get what you wanted, but you got what you needed, and you're about to see the proof of that. Any messages for my husband? Messages for my husband. There's something that he's not recognizing he could be doing better for himself. It feels like it has something to do with energy. So maybe he's like, go, 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 and not mentally. Maybe that's physically. Maybe that's emotionally. It doesn't feel emotional, either mental or physical. It's almost like in always being on the go, there's something that's not being looked at that could be tweaked and done better to prevent problems going forward. For some reason, I feel like this has something to do with like nutrition or like stimuli that he's taking in that's negatively affecting like his mind. But he's not recognizing that there's an imbalance because he's always on the move. So there's a need to kind of slow down and get clarity on, why do I feel energetically depleted? Why do I feel physically depleted? And what can I do differently? Will my son buy a condo in Arden Hills or Shoreview, Minnesota? Arden Hills, Minnesota. Final decision to go to Minnesota. Oh, I think they're both in Minnesota. Shoreview. I'm getting a hit on Shoreview. I make a decision to go on that path of discovery. This is like something holds back finance related, Arden Hills. So maybe something's like out of the price range. Maybe he makes an offer and it gets denied or something like that. Something finances is blocked Arden Hills, and it feels more likely he makes the decision to go to Shoreview. Should I send a package to SR or will that push her further away? Send. Don't send. I feel like now's not the right time. I feel like it's better to do it as like a what's that called? Extending a olive branch, but I don't think it's time yet. I think to wait a little bit and then extend the olive branch. I don't know if this is something that like maybe you can disguise it as like a Christmas gift, but it's like also a peace offering type of thing. That may be like enough time by then, or that may be like, oh, okay, it's not just a random gift, it's also a Christmas gift type of thing. I would wait a little bit and then send. Any messages for me? There's something that's available to you in terms of a skill, a talent, a mindset shift that you're not utilizing that would make a bigger difference than you're giving it credit for. Almost like untapped potential that would make the tipping scale tip in your favor, as right now it's kind of shaky. Feels like it has something to do with finances. So it almost feels like there's an opportunity to increase income, get an additional stream of income, and engage with some kind of hobby that would shift your energy levels. There's something that you're sitting on that's like a golden ticket for you. The person you were talking about, the wool over my eyes, is it one of my sister-in-laws, the one who lives in a different state? One who lives closer to me. Both. Two of Swords, wool over your eyes. Three of Pentacles, We are joining together to put the wool over your eyes. Page of Wands, I'm not the decision maker, but the moon, I'm still hiding. Almost like this person, one who lives in a different state, is the one who wants to pull the wool over, and the one who lives closer is going along with it. Like, I'm pulling the wool over too, but not for me, for her, type of thing. Any messages or songs? Can't Go Back Now by the Weepies. This is kind of giving you can't heal in the same situation that broke you. You're being guided to pour into yourself in a way that allows you to shift perspective. So how is X, Y, and Z trying to pull me back into old patterns? And what did I learn from those patterns last time I was in them? It almost feels like there just needs to be like a taking inventory of what you want for yourself versus what's appearing in your life. Because if there's certain opportunities to make decisions being presented to you, it's not necessarily your past resurfacing. It's an opportunity to choose differently so that you don't repeat those cycles. So there's a need to kind of make decisions from a place of healed logic is kind of how I want to word that. Like, you made decisions in the past before you had the information that you have now to be able to choose differently. No freeze now. Okay, that's good. Oh, that was a while ago. Will there be one or more extreme weather events in the United States before the presidential election? The wheel, the sun, the wheel is turning in that direction. Justice. Yeah, I feel like more than one, because there's this like God opening people's eyes to things that are happening in the world. And it's like, this is the season of really starting to see that. Another hurricane in Florida. I keep getting the message of two things hitting Florida at once. Balance. What would balance out a hurricane? I feel like, yes, Florida is going to get hit again. And I almost feel like it's two things happening at once. Will parents and I move out of Florida, and when? I feel like the decision made to pull away is going to happen. I feel like maybe your mother specifically is pushing this, or a feminine energy is the one that's like, okay, we got to make this decision. I feel like it's going to take a little bit though with Four of Swords. I would say not in 2024. I feel like it starts to really be a factor, or like we start taking action towards this choice next year, or we start putting things in place to take action next year. Do I relinquish my website and focus on readings and collective content? Yes. This is the first card that's come out in reverse this whole time. Almost like something, focusing on one thing is holding you back from what you really need to be focusing on. And with the star, it's like putting yourself in the public eye in some way. So whatever's holding you back or keeping your focus away from that, there needs to be a decision made to step out of your comfort zone in a public setting, and not almost like if the website was allowing you to kind of hide in some way, or like not put all of your energy into stepping forward more boldly. It almost feels like a weight holding you back, and it can be redone in a different way up ahead, but there's a need to build the public platform first. Is there an 8-month badge? There should be, yes. Wow, 8 months? I've had this up for 8 months already. There should be, yes. I don't know how to get to it. Maybe one of the mods can say it. Oh, I don't believe so. I think the next one is 12 months. Really? I thought they gave one every month. I don't know how any of that works. I probably should look into that. Should I liquidate most of my business inventory and try to sell it as bulk wholesale lot? Should I liquidate most of my business inventory and try to sell it as a bulk wholesale lot? I feel like it's going to be an uphill battle to do that, and there may be other options that would be quicker. Okay. Doing that may be a slower path that leads to getting money-wise out of it what you want, but there may be a quicker path where you take a little bit more of a hit, but it happens quicker. So it just depends on which one of them you want to do. But I do feel like you're heading in the right direction with the liquidation part of it. Yeah, Chariot, move forward with that. I just think the selling it as a bulk wholesale lot, there may be a better option or a different option to look into as well. My daughter is going to Mexico on the 21st for a week. Will she be okay? Yes, there just may be a little bit of like confusion on the way home, or like with travel on the way home. Maybe a flight gets delayed, or maybe there's like some it could even be something small, like I get lost in the airport and then I find where I need to be type of thing. It feels like, yeah, everything goes well. There's just some, when I'm trying to go home, there's a frustration or like a delay of some kind. Do some on this list. Do I have cancer? Knight of Cups, King of Cups. Something is progressing. Queen of Pentacles. Rethink, reconsider one part. I feel like there's something going on, but I'm not getting a message that that's what it is. Shift perspective. I feel like something's going on that's maybe not going in a good direction, maybe getting more difficult or more advanced, but I'm not getting that it's that. My birthday falls on the full moon 17th. Anything I should know or what to expect? Oh, that's the moon. I feel like you're going to kind of have this moment of reminiscing, or this moment of like finally seeing exactly what you made it through that you weren't giving yourself the credit for. And I think that that's because you're witnessing a situation in which you're seeing someone with similar wounds to what you've overcome. It's almost like your spirit team giving you the gift of perspective through another individual. I would say around a week before or after your birthday. It's like you're getting a gift of perspective shift. Oh, 1111 messages in the number. What wound would you have gotten when you were around 17 years old? You're getting You're getting an opportunity to see how much you've healed that. Something I need to know, but currently don't. I need to know. Whoever hurt you is getting their karma, but they're keeping that from you. Or you're not going to see it, but it's happening. The Chariot, things moving forward in that regard. It feels like someone, it's kind of giving the energy of like, I still want you to eat, but not at my table. You feel that way about this person. You didn't wish them harm or ill will or anything, but they are getting their karma. I hope I'm not frozen because this is like not going fast. Oh, let me plug my computer in 1 second. Okay. Oh, I did that one. Is the drive to Texas from Canada to take Ralph's truck to the States with him a safe, positive mood? Stressed over it. I would say cross all your T's and dot all your I's. I don't know if that's with the vehicle. I don't know if that's with paperwork. I would say like have everything that needs to potentially be used ready. You may be pulled over. You may be, I don't know. There's like something that like could go wrong, but if you're prepared, it doesn't have to go wrong. Like for example, let's say the vehicle needs new tires, get them before you go, even if you don't feel like doing that. Make sure that everything is if everything is prepared, it will go well. But if you're ill prepared, you may run into some kind of issue. Will I move soon to a new home? Oh. Kind of makes me think of like doing a waltz, like things are progressing slower, but you're going to get what you need, not necessarily what you want. And it feels like what you want is for things to unfold more quickly. 8 of Pentacles, there's a need to stay committed and dedicated. I would say you're going in that direction, but the word soon, I don't think is as soon as you would like. And that's because you're weeding out what's not going to work so you can get closer to what will. Like long-term type of thing. Message from J and or L. There was a test here. Or are you going to go with the crowd in terms of the way that you are perceiving something? Like, are others able to convince you or gaslight you that you don't know what you know and you won? You won the situation. I feel like with me saying you won, you're going to know if it's J or L. True to you and you trusted what you knew to be true and you won the situation, like you beat the test type of thing. Go back to this list. Message from my spiritual team regarding all the difficulty in my life right now. It's 11:11 a.m. here as I read this. There's a need to sit with what are these experiences teaching you? 10 of Swords, yes, you're in a lot of pain. Yes, there's a lot of things ending, but that's to make space for new beginnings. 7 of Cups, it's like get clarity on what you're meant to be learning from this. As you unpack, what is this trying to give me the opportunity to heal or learn? And you sit with it, you're able to figure out what solution you can use to move forward. It's kind of the only way out is through is kind of the energy. Message and song for the weekend. Ethic by Justin Stone. I put in the work. Y'all want a dream. I got that ethic that works. No one can get it like me. There's a need to figure out what it is that is your ultimate goal here and be willing to walk away from anything or anyone that does not align with that. Anyone that makes you feel like that dream is impossible. Anyone who drains your energy so that you don't have it to pour into that goal. It's like you need to defend what it is that you know the divine has sent you here for and be willing to say no to anything that doesn't align with that. Even if that's like your own mind, like reprogramming the thoughts that try to convince you that it's not for you. What is next to come in love? Healing from some kind of battle here, whether that be a new relationship that shows you why you didn't work out with a past partner or a healing to some kind of conflict. I tend to believe it's a new partner that makes you realize why you didn't work out with a past person. Will Kieran get a job soon to fit with his studies? Job to fit with his studies. I feel like it's possible he's going to take something that isn't all the way in alignment, but is like getting his foot in the door somewhere. But I feel like what it does is connects him with people who can get him closer to alignment with the studies. So it's almost like, for example, I take a job at this company in a different department while I wait for the department that I want to be in to open up, for example. Did my mom pass from what we were told, or did something else happen? What you were told. Something else. Both. Almost like what you were told in combination with another factor, and I feel like you kind of have an idea of what that other factor is. But it almost feels like whatever the other factor is, someone doesn't want to talk about or someone doesn't want that known. Or maybe someone didn't catch it in time type of thing. It feels like it's a combination of two things. One of them is what you expect or what you think, and then the other is what you were told. Almost like one made the other worse type of thing. Trying to see if there's anybody I didn't get. 1 second. Yes, super chats are closed. Thank you, Molly. I do have a couple more still to go through. Message from my husband or sister, song and token. You're going through some kind of major ending of a cycle right now. You're clearing out some kind of karmic lesson that was causing you to doubt your decision making. Almost like the lesson is, will you stay committed to some kind of change you made, even if you're not seeing the immediate benefits of it? Never Alone by Jim Brickman is playing. That was already playing. Oh, Tell Your Heart to Beat Again by Danny Gokey. whenever you break out of this cycle, you're going to start to realize that you've had the strength all along. You just needed to see it for yourself. And that's what is happening right now. Does Jay still feel a strong connection with me? It kind of feels like yes, but like I won't let you know that because I need to have the control here, or I feel like I need to take back my power here, or I feel like something is going right for me that may not go as right if I pour energy into you type of thing. I would say yes, but there's some like ego wounds there. Message from my ancestors. Message from my ancestors. Queen of Cups coming through. That feels like a grandmother. Oh. There's a need to turn the page on what you're focusing on. There's a need to almost like either generational gifts or like something that is passed through your family as like a talent or a skill you're meant to be utilizing in order to move forward. Almost like if you learn your own love language and start to give that to yourself more, you reconnect with something that's been passed down through your lineage that's designed to help you at this point in time move forward or break free from something. Pull cards to show the energy of the United States when the presidential winner is announced. Use this deck. Water. Light air travel. Underground tunnel in reverse and false. It's kind of giving smear campaign or like last ditch efforts to bring up hidden truths in order to sway something at the last minute. Almost like information being released right before the buzzer type of thing. Man-made disaster, avoidable pattern repetition. Something we've seen before. Something we've seen before. What have we seen? Oh. It feels like there's going to be increased tension because it's going to be pitting both sides against each other in a way to try and like almost like a last minute Hail Mary. If we release this at the right time, it can sway everything. And then it feels like people are angry after. Burial. People are angry about what ends. People are angry about what ends. I have to do a whole reading to do the insight on the winner. I think I'm going to do that soon. The deck is this one, Gustave Doré Tarot. It's on Amazon. Only 17 left, so if you want to go get it now. Thank you, Linda. Oh no, how did I just lose my place? I didn't do anything. Oh, there we go. When will I meet a love interest? Ace of Cups is an offer of love. Something blocking the offer of love. So it's there. It feels like you first need to walk away from someone that's not going to be what you need. So it feels like you have something that doesn't all the way take off. Maybe it's like you don't get past the talking stage with somebody, or you do, and then you're like, oh, this isn't for me. I need to choose myself here. It feels like you have something fall apart before something else falls together. I tend to believe that what falls apart happens within the next year. And then 8 to 10 months after that is when person that will be for you. Rebecca, I don't know if I see your question. I don't see your question. I need you to type your question again because I do not see it. I wish spirit was more direct sometimes. One or both. Don't they know I get confused easily? One. Oh. Both. Four of Wands celebration. Both. One, we have a connection between two things. Both, we have a celebration. Both. Any messages for me? Whatever is falling away right now, you're being guided to let it. There's an ending of something that needs to get out of your way to make space for what's going to be better for you. This is a testing of your faith is kind of what I'm getting with the Four of Pentacles, so that you can have this Ten of Pentacles, almost like a decision that you make to let something go with grace allows you to show that you're ready for what you've been working towards. Let me finish these. Will my adult daughters towards me improve, and what can I do to help? It feels like it's not like a you thing. It's nothing that you caused. It feels to be something else that she's dealing with. I'm a Star by Jay Critch. It's like something that she wants to happen is not happening, and she's not recognizing what's holding her back. So she's kind of mad at multiple things or pulling back from multiple things because she's not sure what it is that's holding her back. She needs to identify that that's not you, or it's not anything associated with you that's holding her back. I feel like it will change as she figures out what actually needs to be cut out of her life that's not serving her. Almost like an itch that she can't scratch, that she's just kind of unsure about how to handle anything because she doesn't know where it's coming from, type of thing, hypothetically. So it feels like it's going to be a bit of time. I would say like at least 8 months before whatever that issue is has subsided. Message from my guides about my mom's attempt to guilt me. Oh. I feel like you asked your spirit team for proof of intentions or proof of like what's going on in her mind. Show me how she really feels. That's what's happening. You're being shown how she really feels to confirm what your intuition was already telling you. That Seven of Pentacles is reversed. She's like trying to rush past something. Like, I don't want to address this. I don't want to talk about this. If I guilt you, you'll leave me alone about it, type of thing. It feels like you asked for some kind of proof or confirmation, and this is your spirit team's way of giving that to you. Message from spirit for myself and DR. Myself and DR. You're going to get clarity but it might not be what you want to hear. But trust that the clarity you receive is what you need to hear, even if it's not what you want to hear. The Empress. It's an opportunity to trust yourself here. Are you going to believe what you're being given or what you're being shown, even if it goes against what you would have wanted? Ouch. Where'd I go? Will my soulmate return to me? Will my soulmate return to me? When they're ready for a commitment, when they have faced whatever it is that's causing them to run from themselves. It kind of feels like a chaser situation where you may have always felt like the chaser, but when this person's ready, they'll be the one to kind of chase you, but not like chase in like a toxic way. It feels like it's going to be some time before this happens because they have to address what it is that they're running from about themselves. They're not running from you, they're running from themselves. So will they come back eventually? Should I attend the round table next weekend? I feel like you'll be able to stand up for yourself, or you'll be able to stand up for your ideas or something if you're there, even though it may be draining. Um, so I would say yes, if you're comfortable with kind of being uncomfortable or being potentially triggered. Why is my mom acting so weird? Exposure by Tom McDonald. There's something she doesn't want to address. 9 of Swords. I'm defending what I don't want to address. 2 examples I would have are, I don't want to talk about something because I feel like you'll question me in a way that would make me have to tell you something I don't want to tell you. And or maybe something's going on with me that I don't want you to know, so I'm hiding myself, if that makes sense. Message for Boone from his dad. One Sweet Day by Mariah Carey, about meeting again, coming back together again. Even though our time was cut short, I am still with you. And kind of getting this energy of like, you are just like me. Like you are my copy paste of either my energy or my looks or something like that. Hanged Man. It feels like there's some kind of sacrifice that Boone has made for his dad's memory, or like maybe sitting with uncomfortable emotions could be the sacrifice. Whatever it is, there's this message of like, I'm really proud of you for that. And almost like I see so much of myself in you or in your choices or in your personality. A song we both love comes on when you miss and think about me. Hold on. Oh, not this playlist. 1 second. Rainbow by Casey Musgraves. Next time he sees a rainbow, shuffle a playlist in the phone. There's going to be a direct message from his dad. How many lifetimes were Jill and I sisters? How many lifetimes? You've been dancing with stepping into your divine authority. It feels like you've been on parallel timelines. Parallel timelines. No, it feels like you've been on perpendiculars when they cross like this, right? This is parallel perpendicular. It feels like you've been on perpendicular timelines where you've encountered one another for a specific lesson or a specific moment, but now you're in parallel timelines where they're finally catching up to one another. So I would say there's been almost like a soul family that meets each other at the right time and then fades into different reality type of thing, or it's into different situations. I feel like the last 2 or 3 lifetimes has been parallel where the others were countered one another, but in some lifetimes it's just been like a brief crossing, where in like 2 or 3 lifetimes it's been parallel, if that makes sense. Will my relationship with A and K get better, or do I put that down and walk away? Get better. Walk away. I feel like you've offered solutions here that could have made quick progress and been the best for everybody, and they're just not taking those solutions. And it feels like you keep offering more and more and more of yourself. It kind of makes me feel like you're being taken advantage of in some way. Like they expect you to just always be there and keep giving. You may have to pull back your energy here. The Hermit and Strength, like this feels like pulling back temporarily to see if it needs to be permanent. Because there's a need to show them I'm not going to be walked all over or taken advantage of. I'm not going to continue to pour into someone who's unwilling to pour back into me. Wait, why did that just move? Hold on. Will T betray me? It's kind of giving either a decision that I feel forced to make or a decision that I make carelessly may intentionally or unintentionally either lessen your energy or try and end something for you. But it feels more like because I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing, I end up sabotaging something for you. So it kind of feels like a betrayal out of ignorance, if that makes sense. Like I might not be intentionally doing this, but my ignorance and me accepting the ignorance causes something that's working for you to work for you less or to slow down. Are my ancestors helping Luis Diaz with the blockage in his house? Justice and the moon. Bringing justice to a situation that you can't see the route to justice in. 3 of Cups. I would say yes. The group of ancestors helping to bring justice to a situation that the person can't see a way towards justice. Will the magic from the blessing happen if Vicar David blesses my home, or does it have to be Father Derek, both born to the Catholic faith? Okay, so Vicar David. Vicar David. David. Father Derek. Is it possible one gets the bad energy out and one brings good energy in? I'm almost kind of feeling like Vicar David helps remove some kind of negative energy, but then it feels like there's a void. And then Father Derek can fill the void by bringing light. Is it possible to do both? It may be that the space just needs both, like one removal, one putting light back in type of thing. What am I getting clarity on with DR? Oh, why does that keep happening with these cards? The cards are a little slippery. If you guys are buying them, they're a little slippery. Page of Wands. What am I getting clarity on with DR? In what ways you do not have, in what ways you are not on the same page about some kind of fundamental value or belief that you would need to be on the same page about. High Priestess, I feel like you know what this is. You're already questioning, are we on the same page about this? And that's what you're getting clarity on. Have my kids been with me in another lifetime? 9 of Swords. You've defended their energy to set them free before. It's kind of giving like different dynamic. I don't know if maybe like you had to be their protector or you had to be their defender from someone else that should have been in a position of trust. So maybe like the father in a past lifetime was not good and you had to get them away from that. It does feel like, yes, there is some almost like themes from that lifetime that have shown up in this lifetime. Message from Grandpa L. L, right? L. Let It Be by the Beatles. 2015 may be significant. And the number one is on the album and it says remastered 2015. There's a need to defend yourself against internal dialogue that's trying to convince you that you haven't come as far as you've come. 2015 would be what, 9 years ago. In the last decade, you've made more progress than you're giving yourself credit for. Almost like you wouldn't even recognize the person that you were then, but you subconsciously convince yourself that there hasn't been any growth. There's a need to give yourself more credit when it comes to that. Specifically about something, it feels like during 2015 to 2020, in that time frame, I'm standing right next to you. He's been holding your hand through unpacking that or moving forward from that. Any messages from my mom? Don't Blink by Kenny Chesney is the song. There's a need to redirect focus onto almost like either a family member that you don't have a lot of time left with or someone that you kind of have grown distant from. You're being encouraged to rebuild that bond or like reestablish that connection. The ending of there's an energy that's ending. So it almost feels like someone that you were kind of at odds with or at a distance with was going through something and that has ended. So there's the opportunity to like reconnect. Spirit orbs. Past hold you back and block you from future endeavors. Yeah. Whatever it was that was blocking this connection has ended for that person. Like they were dealing with some stress that's been alleviated. So there's an opportunity for reconciliation. What will be the result of the litigation my dad is involved in? What will be the results? Seven of Swords, King of Swords, 10 of Wands. Someone trying to strong arm him. I don't know if that's like we try to offer you some kind of like lowball deal, or we try and pull some shady or slick move. What's the result? I kind of want to word it as a final result that's less than ideal, but not worst case scenario. And it's because of some kind of like, I have the power to strong arm you type of thing, not your dad, the other side. Um, but not worst case scenario, just like I'm unimpressed by the results type of thing, or I feel like this could have gone better type of thing. Message from spirit and a song. I'm going to stay on about 5 more minutes because I kind of hear Gavin getting restless, and then I'll add the 15 minutes to next week. Message from spirit and a song. Fight Back by Neffex, Neffex. Fight Back. You're never going to make it. You're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. Page of Swords and Three of Cups. Someone's projecting their fears onto you, trying to make you feel like whatever changes you're trying to make are not going to stick or not going to matter. So you're being guided to focus on what inspires you, what motivates you, and in order to drown out the voices of people who are stuck in their own ego, unaware of how to get out of it, and projecting those fears onto you. My best friend's health. What is going on? My best friend's health. Too much of something that the body's having trouble processing, that's causing the body to be in like a defense mode, or like a survival mode, or like a, when your computer is on like a battery save mode. That's kind of what I'm getting. Like, because of something that my body is working overtime to process, or working overtime to fight off, I'm like a computer being in battery save mode. A teacher king. Is there something that would run in the family on the paternal side of the family, maybe that your friend is unaware of? What's being referenced in my mind is like, how you get like 23andMe type tests and they tell you like these things are to look out for. It almost feels like something that is present on the paternal side. A healthy body, but it came out in reverse. Exercise walking in reverse. So because the body is in overdrive trying to process something else is slowing down. I would look at the paternal side of the family and any patterns that may be showing up that align with an issue that's been prevalent on that side. Will my daughter or find someone and get married again? Yes, the Lovers is here. I had my experience and my lessons, and now I'm moving forward from them. I'm healing first. I'm focusing on myself first, but eventually my time will come, the Lovers, where I do find that connection. I would say yes. Missing Matt so much. Whatever lesson you learned from this experience is the key that you need in order to unlock going forward. But it has something to do with connecting to other people. So maybe the message is you heal the wound that you're feeling right now by finding others with a similar wound and relating to them. Or it could even be like on social media, looking up people with like similar stories or like similar things that they need to hear from. This situation with Matt is guiding you back to a sense of community in some way for the support or the camaraderie that you're not able to get from that situation, guiding you back to community through pain. Are my parents my external family? I feel like there's someone in your family that's not your family, but it's not one of them. I feel like yes, they are, but there's someone else that like doesn't belong that's made to look like they belong. But they were placed there for a reason. I would say yes though to that. But if you're kind of questioning, is this person really a true family member about somebody else? Feels like the answer may be no to that. I'm going to do 2 more and then I have to hop off. Lauren wants to know if she was a good person in her previous life, 11-year-old daughter. The Author by Livingston. Darling, I would be the wind behind your sails. I would be the one to tell your tales. I would be the one to hold your secrets. I would be your earth when all else fails. So if you're ever scared to jump before me, take the fear off of your face, because I would be the one to write your story and I won't forget a single page. It feels like in a past lifetime. She helped people that were facing endings to see the light in the darkness by pouring herself into them. So I would say yes, in a big way. She helped people rewrite their stories. All right, last one, and then I am hopping off to go feed my child. Years ago, I was able to see people as shimmery while meditating, but when they turned to look at me, I got scared. Did I have access to the web of consciousness? Queen of Wands, the social queen. I feel like you unintentionally took action to block it because it was too much for you to unpack at the time. But I do feel like that's what was going on. This is like social queen. Then you see like the little angels there right above her head. It does feel like that's what you were tapping into, but something about you might not have felt ready or something was too much too soon and freaked you out. So you can reopen that if you feel ready, but it feels like it was your choice or subconsciously or consciously to be like, okay, I'm not ready for this yet type of thing. Okay, everyone. Oh yeah, Temperance Angel. I'm going to hop off. I will probably be on Tuesday this week and hopefully have true crime as well. More than one. We will see. Okay. Talk to you soon. Thank you for being here. And thank you to all of my mods.